With the release a few months ago of the new Kanye West documentary Jeen-Yuhs, I was, as I said before, as a Kanye fan, extremely excited. I was so curious to see all of the gorgeous old footage that has been passed around the industry for decades now. And when I first saw the clip of Kanye rapping with Mos Def 2 words, I got so excited. And when the first episode finally dropped, I watched it the day of being dropped. And in that first 10 minutes, something became very clear to me. This was not what I was hoping for. First of all, I want to give credit to all of the incredible footage that was shot. It all looks beautiful and gorgeous. What I also quite like about the documentary is how they kinda let it flow, you know? They give certain scenes the time it needs to really make an impact on you emotionally. Also, where Kanye is just talking away is obviously great, because I love this version of Kanye. The one that has to prove everything to the world. The one who knows he's the best, but he just needs everybody else to know now. And of course, the absolute highlight of this entire documentary, Miss Donda West. She is such a kind-hearted, loving person that you really see what kind of impact she made on Kanye's life. There are certain things about this documentary that as a fan I just absolutely adore, and I think many of you adore it as well. But then the documentary just isn't good. It's not a documentary, it's more like archive footage that's put on the voiceover and it doesn't really tell a story. So the first problem of this documentary is for certain, and I'm absolutely sure of it, the maker of it, the filmer of it, Coodie. Now, first off, I want to give Coodie a massive amount of credit for following Kanye all of this time, and the fact that he knows where he needs to put the camera, or at least he knew, and he filmed some incredibly special moments that will stick with a lot of people, I think. But he is definitely the person that just ruins this documentary. First of all, it's very clear that he doesn't know how to tell the story, that he doesn't know what story he wants to tell, and I would kinda say his ego gets in the way of the story he wants to tell. Don't get me wrong, he has a part in this story, and there could have been a few times that it's about him and why he started filming Kanye. But with him also being the narrator, and he just doesn't narrate, he literally reads his lines just like this, kinda brain dead. And I guess that's the way he talks, but you shouldn't narrate it that way. Because if you fall asleep, I kinda fall asleep. The amount of times that we have a moment with Kanye and Coodie narrates, when I look at my own life, I'm like, I don't care about your life. I've literally never heard of you, and I probably should have, because I'm a big Kanye fan, but I'm sorry, I just haven't. And you have a part in this story, but stop making it about Kanye and you. This is about Kanye, not about you too. He also picks constant shots, and I know another guy directed this with him, so maybe it's not all his fault, but he really doesn't make it easy on himself with being so extremely involved. The amount of times that he is saying, this is for his documentary, this is for his documentary, I get it, I'm watching a documentary about him. But you don't have to say it every 10 minutes. Also, in some parts we just cut through a lot of time very quickly, and sometimes when he has a gorgeous scene, and that's the thing he does well, he just lets it play without his voiceover. But the thing about documentary making is you can use interviews, you can use voiceovers, but the story has to be clear in the visual aspect of the documentary. You don't just tell a story simply by narrating it. That's not how it works. That's what you do when you're watching animals in the wild and you have the British guy do the voiceover to tell you what the animal is doing now. This isn't an animal. This is a person named Kanye West. And I think the footage that he got, he could really put together a great story without having to narrate it. It's not creative and it's not original. It's actually very lazy, and it really shows me that you absolutely had no idea how to tell this story like you wanted it to go. Like the first episode, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see like how Kanye made his songs, how he started off with his beats, how he made the different types of beats. I want to see that. I know the song, I know how the song goes, but I would have loved to have seen how the song started, how he came up with the idea of the song, maybe talk about that for a little while. And I don't know if you had that footage. I know that Kanye works a lot with his headphones on while he creates the beats. But at least ask the guy to let you see the progression of a few songs, to show me how he started to write Through the Wire, how he started to write Family Business. These are some of the best songs he's ever made, and they just don't show it. Now, in the second episode, they definitely show how they made the music video of Through the Wire, and that was the best part. I didn't know how they did it. I could think about it, but now I know for certain. And how that music video ties into his life is just great. And seeing the different types of footage, like when he lets the comedian hear Through the Wire in the car and that bit made it into the music video, those types of things are very satisfying for me as a fan to see. But that's one example. I don't see it really anywhere else. Even when they do Jesus Walks, they say that Kanye isn't happy with the previous two music videos, so they shoot it again. But they cut over it so extremely quickly that I'm like, alright, that was a fun sequence, but where is the real in-depth, where are the behind the scenes of it? And I get the part where he is at the dentist is a fun part and it definitely should be in here. But like I said, why is this time being wasted on having a funny moment instead of showing me how he made the album, how he's planning on making the new album? I get that I kinda got estranged, but at least try to show it. Now, I did like the second episode, and if I have to rewatch them again, I would definitely only watch the second episode and maybe a bit from the first one. But which episode you can truly just cut out completely is the third one. I get it is fun to see how Kanye has changed over the years, how they got estranged, how much he has changed, and just show the difference in that. I get it. But there were moments in his life where he changed, and you weren't there to film it. So I get, as a fan, that he has changed. I see a few moments that have changed him. But if you don't have those in-depth bits, why just show us what we already know? Why have a 10-minute long monologue about your daughter? I get she's a big part of your life. I'm very happy for you that your daughter made such an impact on you. But the point is, this isn't about you. I didn't come here to see Cudi. I came here to see Kanye. I don't care about Cudi's life. I'm sorry. Like I said, he has a part in the story, but not this big. It shouldn't be again about him and Kanye. It should be about Kanye West. Now, in the third episode, because we are in modern day and those old cameras just aren't a thing anymore, everything just looks quite basic. There's not this interesting look that the old footage had. So why put it into your movie? They promoted this like Kanye's life. But it truly should have been how the College Dropout was made, what kind of impact that had, the effect on Kanye. My point is, if you have the most footage from that era, use that footage for 3 episodes long. Show me what I want to know, and not in a boring, lazy way like you did now. Show it with a lot of visual style, a lot of flair to it. Show it to me, like I said, how he creates the beats, how he thinks of the rhymes. I know a lot of it has been ghostwritten, allegedly, but just show it. Now, we have one episode that is before the College Dropout and kind of making the College Dropout. The second episode that looks like the effect of the College Dropout for a bit. And then the last episode that just goes through 20 years of life. And the last few years haven't been fun, haven't been good, haven't been what I want to know about Kanye. Like I said, I know this is the reality of it. I know this is what it turned out to be. But if you don't have interesting footage or anything interesting to say about this part of his life, but just a box standard that everybody else has to say who are fans of his, why put it into your documentary? I just don't get it. You can probably hear my frustration about the documentary Jeen-Yuhs, and that's because I really thought when I saw the initial footage that it really could become something very special, but I think this is just a case where the maker got into his own way a bit. What I thought he could have done, he could have handed it over maybe to the Last Dance documentary makers, because they truly made something special with interviews, with all of the footage that they had, and this just isn't that. Even the music that is in the documentary is so box standard, it is so trying to be clearly emotional while really it isn't all that much, and it really tries to manipulate you into feeling those feelings instead of just letting you feel those feelings. Because the footage that you're watching is emotional. It has an impact on me. I don't need that kind of melancholic music in the background to make me feel that way. Like I said, I'm very thankful for Kanye for filming all of this, and I commend him very much for following him all of those years. But this should have been about the making of the college dropout and not about Kanye's perspective on Kanye. Thank you for watching this video. If you really like the documentary and you don't know what I'm on about, I'm very happy for you, but I have some real problems with it. And if you want to let me know your opinion, let them know down in the comments. And if you like this video, give this video a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel.